Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
How are you guys today? Why? Come on, that spirit. How are you guys today? Okay, thank you. But before we starting our lesson, it's better for us to pray together. Please, one of you lead praying together. Mas Vito, please. Okay, finish. Thank you. Hey guys, who is absent today? Is there any absent today? Anyone absent today? No one. No one absent today. Okay, good. And I want to ask you about coronavirus. Do you hear coronavirus? COVID-19? What kind of news that you hear? I mean, is it written or spoken news? Is it from newspaper or from television? From newspaper. So, if you have heard about coronavirus news, it is called news item, text. Today we are going to learn about news item text. Anyone knows what is news item text? A text that related to news. What is news? News is berita. Okay. Now please attention to the screen. The disaster has passed by. What does it mean? Bencana telah lewat atau berlalu. Okay. We pray for Indonesia so that it can be healthy, it can be secure, and no one got the disaster of coronavirus. Amin. And next, now please pay attention again on the screen. I'll give you 3 pictures. Can you differ this? The first title, Jabatan Post newspaper, Jabatan Post newspaper. The second, the Jakarta Post newspaper, and the last, the Times newspaper. Is there any difference? The first is local news. Okay, and the second, national news, and the last, international news. So that the news is divided by its regions, from local, national to international news. And again, let's discuss this. What are the types of news? Anyone knows? What are the types of news? Written, secara tertulis. Spoken, secara lisan. Is there any others? Print media, broadcast news, and then the last, the internet. Is anyone knows what kinds of print medias? The examples? Newspapers, magazines, and etc. Print media means media cetak. How about broadcast news?
Radio.
Berita. radio, good. And then televisi. And maybe what else? Is there any other? No? Okay, good. And the last, the internet, such as online newspapers, news blogs, news videos, live news streaming, etc. Do you know what is news item? A kind of text that relates to news. Sebuah wacana yang berhubungan dengan berita. Good. So, print media, broadcast news, the internet, those are news item text. It can be written and spoken, secara tertulis atau secara lisan. As previous, I explained to you the purpose of these materials are to identify, to explain, and then to compare about the purpose, about the organization and language elements of the text. That is for cognitive level. And for psychomotoric level, we have to find specific information and also general idea of the text. To find specific information and general idea of the text, we can use this technique, scanning and skimming, as fast reading. Okay, now I want to ask you about the purpose of news item text. Anyone knows the purpose? To inform. Good. To inform the news. Let's see. To inform about events of the day. What is event? Peristiwa atau kejadian. Please differ between event and event. Event means peristiwa. Event means bahkan. Okay? What kind of events that can be news? What kind event, peristiwa seperti apa that can be news, yang bisa dijadikan berita? What kind event? Menarik, good. What else? Important atau penting, good. Mengejutkan, great, thank you. So, at least there are three kinds or categorized about events that can be included in news. The first, it must be interesting. The second, it must be important. The last, it must be surprising atau mengejutkan. To inform about events of the day, it means news item fungsinya untuk memberitahu tentang peristiwa yang terjadi, yang sedang ngehits atau viral atau apapun itu, ya. Now we discuss about organization of the text, the structure of the text. There are three colors, not color, right? Colors. peristiwa. Event is bahkan. Main event means peristiwa yang pertama, peristiwa yang dibahas. Newsworthy event means peristiwa yang bernilai berita. News berita, worthy bernilai. It must only one paragraph that include in main event. Only one, no others. Hanya satu. Next, what it sounds? Elaboration. Jangan i, elaboration. Now please repeat after me. Elaboration. Okay, good. Elaboration means menjelaskan, menguraikan. So, the function of elaboration is menjelaskan main idea. The second, the third, the fourth, the last is elaboration. Elaboration 1, elaboration 2, elaboration 3, and etc. Elaboration is like background event. It explain or menjelaskan the main or newsworthy event. And the last is resource of information. Anyone knows? Narasumber yang dimintai keterangan. It's like Bapak Binsar Panjaitan said. So said means resource of information. Bapak Jokowi Widodo said. So it means resource of information. And what about the green color? Anyone knows? Sumber. Berita. Source. You can write down on your handout so that please open your handout on page 6. We have already know about the purpose of the text. We have already know about the organization of the text. And please write down the organization of the text on page 6. I'll give you time. Yes. Have you finished? Okay. Next. So the organization of the text is newsworthy event. What is newsworthy event? Peristiwa yang bernilai berita. It can be means headlines, headline news. What is headline news? Tajuk berita. Apa itu tajuk? Utama, topik utama. Tells a summary. What it means? Summary. Rangkuman. Tells a summary of an event that happened. Yang terjadi. And next, elaboration. Elaboration means explanation. Menjelaskan. Menjelaskan apa? Topik. The newsworthy event topik tajuknya good. It contains background, participants. What is participants? Yang terlibat, time and places. It elaborates what happened, to whom, and in what circumstance. Next, about resource of information. Narasumber means comments by participants. Witness. What is witness? Saksi mata. Every single accident or every there is saksi mata, ada saksi mata untuk korban kecelakaan misalnya. And authorities. What is authorities?
Pihak yang berwenang.
Pihak yang berwenang, expert on the event, yang ahli pada bidangnya. Good. And we got a nice break here. When we are playing our social media, it usually contains about hoax. What is hoax? Berita yang palsu. It's not hoax, but hoax. Hoax, not hoax. Hoax, spell hoax. Stop hoax. We can stop hoax by do a screen capture. What is screen capture? Screenshot. Right. Because maybe we got hoax by phone, and then we do screen capture with a URL link, and then send the data to aduan@mail.com.info.go.id. It means we send by email. Complaint will be proceeded immediately after verification. Confidentiality means kerahasiaan. Kerahasiaan of the reporter is guaranteed. So don't be afraid. Jangan khawatir tentang data kita ketika melapor. It is guaranteed, and the content complaints can be viewed on the trustpositive.com.info.go.id webpage. You can write down the webpage and the email address, so that maybe sometimes you can do a screen capture to send or report a hoax. Please write down on your module. Okay, next. We are discuss about the language element. The language elements of the text. News item usually used past tense and present tense. Past tense because the event is in the past time, and using simple present tense because the event is fakta. Fakta needs simple present tense. And what else? About the time, about the place. So it using adverb of time and adverb of place. color, reported, said, and else. It is saying verb. Great. Saying verb. Saying verb means kata kerja perucapan. And what about green color? Action verb. Action verb. For example, using gerund, taking, using to plus infinitive, to prevent, etc. Action verb. And what about the blue? Passive voice. Because it is using auxiliary be plus verb 3. Passive voice mean kalimat pasif. Biasanya menggunakan tambahan di atau ter. Is expected means diharapkan. Great. Please write down on your module on page 6 the language elements, so that you have already known about the purpose, about the organization, and the language elements of news item text. Have you done? Okay, thank you. Next, about the Jakarta Post, news categories. I'll give you some newspapers. There are 5 newspapers from Jakarta Post. As you can see on the screen, Jakarta Post is local or national or international news. National news. So, you can make clipping on your LKPD using this glue and the sizes and the sizes. Please find articles that different from your friend. It may be content about religion. Maybe content about health. Apa itu? Health. Kesehatan. Crime, criminal. Finance, financial. Politics. And then
Sport.
sport. What is sport? Technology. Lifestyle. What is lifestyle?
Gaya hidup.
Gaya hidup. Great. Food. Makanan. Fashion. Model. Great. Education. What is? Pendidikan. And art. Seni. Music. And then weather. Don't say weather, but weather. Weather means
Cuaca.
Okay, please choose your articles, but remember it must different from your friends. Please cut your articles. I'll give you 5 minutes to choose your articles, and then please glue on your LKPD. Come on, don't be hesitate. Cut your newspaper. Don't the picture, but the article. The article, not the picture. Anyone find difficulty? No? You can choose is religion, finance, health, sports, etc. But remember, it must be different from your friends. Then, make a clipping on your LKPD on page on activity 3. Just do on this. Do the task below in pair with your chairmates. Clip your articles of news items so that I will divide all of you in groups. This is group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5, group 7, group 9, and the last is group 10. Please do the task in pair with your chairmate. If you find any difficulty, don't be hesitate to ask me. Okay, good. Just cut it. Write your research about the differences of your articles with your chairmates in your worksheet below. Table A, the purpose of the text, the differences. Text 1, it is yours. Text 2, it is your chairmates. Table B, the organization of the text. The differences. Text 1, it is yours. Text 2, it is your chairmates. And the last, about the language element of the text. Write down on the table C the differences between yours and your chairmates. You can use the description of the purpose, the organization, and the language element from page 6 on your module that you have written from the screen of my PPT. And don't forget to stick your article with blue on your LKPD. For example, I'll give you example. Have you cut your articles? Yes. Jokowi, for example, like this. Jokowi dodged net zero emission pledge at climate summit. It means include in religion, finance, health, sport, politics. Great. So write down the news category is politics. And the purpose of the text is that news important? Right. It is not interesting but important. It is not surprising but important. But if you find news that interesting, you can write down the purpose of your text is interesting. If you find your article is surprising news, you can write down the text one, yours is surprising news. And then compare with your friends. Our objective of material today is 1. To identify, and then to what is identify, to explain, and to compare. The cognitive level of material today is to identify, to what is explain, and to compare about the purpose, the organization, and the language elements of the text, so that you can identify your articles and then explain your articles and compare with others articles about the purpose, the organization and language element of the text. Okay, great. You can fold. What is fold? Melipat, and then use your hand to to break your newspaper. If you have no sizes. Excuse me, one minute. Okay. If you find any difficulty, don't hesitate to ask me. The first, you must categorize your articles. Is it religion, about health, crime, finance, lifestyle, etc. And then the second, you must identify your article in the purpose. Is it interesting news? Is it important news? Or is it maybe surprising news? Next, about the organization of the text. You have to know about where is the main event or newsworthy event. Usually the main event or newsworthy event is in the first paragraph, and the second paragraph, the third paragraph until the last paragraph is about elaboration on background event. After main event, after background event, it must be results of results of the news. Great. Result of the news means narasumber. You can find the participants. It usually using saying verb, said, reported, etc. The people that may be as witness, that may be as authorities, etc. And the last, as optional, is the source. Of course, all the sources are from the Jakarta Post newspaper. After you identified, you have identified about the purpose, about the purpose, and then the organization of the text. The last is about the elements of the text. Please write down where is the simple present tense, where is the past, simple past tense, and then auxiliary, adverb of time, adverb of place, etc. Have you all done it? Have you find any difficulty? Great. Then stick it using glue on your LKPD. Stick your articles using glue, make it as clipping. And then write down the categories of your news. Is it religion, finance, sports, or what else? After that, please identify about the purpose. Is that interesting news, or maybe important news, or maybe surprising news? And the last, about the organization and the language elements of the text. Make it in groups. Have you done it? Anyone want to be a volunteer? Any group want to be volunteers to present their work in front of the class? Please raise your hand. Mas Vito. Okay, great. Do you want to present your work in front of the class? Go ahead. And your friend, of course. Two of you. Bring your LKPD that you have stick your article. Can you show to your friends about your articles like this? Is it clear? Is it clear? Yes? Clear?
Yeah.
What is the title? Can you read loudly? What is? Indian hospital swept by coronavirus as common beside. Okay. So the categories is included in kesehatan or health. And then about the purpose. Is that news important
No.
or interesting?
Interesting.
Is that interesting? Berita tentang corona apakah itu menarik?
Yeah, important.
It should be important, not interesting. Not surprising, not important. And then about the what else? The organization of the text. Where is the main event? On the first paragraph. What about the second, the third, the fourth, and else? It is about elaboration on background events that explain the newsworthy event on the first paragraph. And what else? You can find results of news, sumber, who, Neha, Arola, okay, great. And then the last, of course, the source as optional is from the Jakarta Post newspaper. After organization of the text, the last is about the language elements of the text. The first, give me example from simple present tense. One sentence of simple present tense. Can you read loudly? Okay, great. Simple present tense is used for facts, to explain facts. Great. And then about simple past tense using verb to. Okay, great. Simple past tense is used for explaining about past event. After that, please find about adverb of time. Keterangan waktu. When it happens. Kapan? On Tuesday. And then adverb of place. Keterangan tempat. Where it happened. In India, great. And next, about saying verb. Usually used by what? The participant. Reported, said, etc. Great, thank you. Give applause. Nice try. Next, who want to be volunteers? Group 1, Group 2, Group 3. Please. Present your work in front of the class. Show it to your friends about your articles. Not the picture, but the articles. Right? Not the picture, but the articles. Do you hear my voice? Is my instruction clear?
Yes.
Not the picture, but the articles. What about your friends? It's also about the picture. Is it clear? Is it right? Is it right? No. We are learn about text, not the picture. Text. Text mean wacana, not picture. These are the bad examples. Right? Okay, great. Thank you. Nice try. Don't give applause. Don't give applause. Anyone else who want to try to present about your work in front? Group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Please present your work. Group 5. No, you. Okay, can you show your articles to your friends? Like this. Okay, great. Please read loudly about the title. The title of your articles.
New Zealand rugby bats or black rifle tackled the revolution.
Okay, how about you?
Papua Rebels declared terrorist following black.
Okay, great. Now, please categorize your articles. Is it religion, finance, health, crimes, etc.? Sport. How about you? Okay, great. Now, the next. About the purpose of the text. Is your news, your articles include in important news, interesting news, or maybe surprising news? Interesting news. What about you? The same. Okay, great. Now next, about the organization of the text. Can you tell us about the newsworthy event or main event of your articles? The first paragraph. Can you read loudly?
New Zealand rugby bat revolutionary plan to sell a stake in the payment complex.
Okay, great. The first paragraph includes in newsworthy event. And the next paragraph, the second, the third, the fourth, and the last? Elaboration or background events. How about results of the news? Narasumber. It is usually with saying verb. Reported. Say. Mark Robinson. How about you? Okay, great. And next, the last, about the language element of the text. Please give us the sample of simple present tense of your articles. Read loudly. One sentence. One sentence. Come on, don't be shy. Nothing? Is there nothing simple present tense?
Describing it is one of change.
Great, using verb 1. And how about simple past tense? Using verb 2. Is there no simple past tense?
When Europe talk football, but itself and to expect every way.
Okay, great. Simple past tense is used for explaining about past event, and present tense is used for explaining about facts or fakta. And how about adverb of time, adverb of place? Keterangan waktu, keterangan tempat. Can you mention it?
Thursday.
Thursday. It's happened on Thursday. And how about where? Where it happened?
New Zealand.
In New Zealand, great. And the last, maybe about saying verb. Can you mention it?
We believe is an action and really transformation.
Okay, good. It is usually using reported or maybe said, etc. Thank you. Give applause for your friend. From 3 performances, we can conclude that 2 samples are right and 1 is wrong. We are clipping articles, not picture. Don't forget that. Now next, I'm going to tell you about scanning, skimming as fast reading. Did anyone know what is scanning and skimming? Scanning is menyekan. What is scan? Okay, and then skimming? Have no idea? Okay, great. Pay attention to the screen. We discuss together. Scanning. Scanning is about a reading technique used when you want to get a specific information of the text. What is specific information? Do you remember WH questions? 5W1H. What, when, why, and who. How. Great. Specific information can be name, can be address, can be year, can be tall, can be something that can be presented by WH question. And it must be accurate. Example, scan TV listening in paper to find time of show. Mencari daftar tayangan televisi di jadwal untuk mengetahui tentang waktunya kapan. So you can use your finger to appoint the list and read fastly, so that it includes in fast reading technique. Often done with material that you know something about. It's different with skimming. If you want to do skimming, this a general idea of the text. So you have not to know about the specific information. It is general, not specific. General idea. Comprehension of the details is lower. Penguasaan tentang hal-hal yang khusus is lower. Tidak terlalu ditekankan. As speed increases, comprehension decreases. Semakin cepat kita skimming, penguasaannya semakin berkurang. The tips using skimming and scanning. Pay attention. The first is for scanning. Keep clue words or keywords in mind. What is clue words? Kata kunci, keyword kata kunci. For example, I want to find out about what is the age, usia, the age of someone, so that it must be in number. Usia is in number. And what else? If I want to find out about the address, it must be on street. The keyword is about the street. If I want to find about the color of someone's house, the keyword is about the color, warna. Can you get the point about the keyword? Great. And then next, make accuracy your goal. It must be accurate. The last, scan quickly. The purpose is to get the specific information quickly. Remember, WH questions. And the last, about tips for skimming. Skimming is to find about the author's main idea. The first, read the title of the text. You must read the title of your articles titles. Read the first sentence of every paragraph. Usually we read the first because the main idea is usually in front or in back. Deduktif or induktif in Bahasa Indonesia. And also the third, read the first and the last paragraph. After we read the first sentence, and then don't forget to read the paragraph. Usually in first paragraph and the last paragraph. Once you have general overview of articles, skip the rest of the paragraph. For example, if we have already known about the purpose of the article, for example, it is about coronaviruses, so it must be categorized as health, kesehatan. So we have already known about the author's main idea. Read fast. The purpose is to get the author's main idea at a very fast speed and don't get too caught up in details. I'll give you examples about this text. We can analyze together about this text. The title is Indonesia reports new coronavirus deaths on Wednesday. So it must be categorized in health, kesehatan. How from the article, the yellow color is specific information. Indonesia reported a record high 1,383 deaths from COVID-19 on Wednesday. What can we get from this? About the number of death. The number of death, jumlah orang yang meninggal dari corona selama hari Rabu. Sunday is Ahad. Monday Tuesday, Wednesday, Rabu. According to data blah blah blah. Satgas COVID-19 also reported 772 new cases. What can we get from this? The number of new cases, kasus baru, and so on. And what about the main idea? The main idea, we can use skimming technique. The main idea of the text. The paragraph 1 is about the number of deaths, tentang jumlah yang meninggal. And paragraph 2 is about the number of new cases, tentang kasus baru, and so on. We can use skimming and scanning technique. So, for your assignment, as you have clipping on your LKPD, next, please analyze about the specific information and main idea using scanning and skimming technique. You can do in pairs with your chairmates. If you have any difficulty, don't be hesitant to ask me. I'll give you 10 minutes. If you forgot about the scanning and skimming technique, you can pay attention on the screen about the tips for scanning using keywords. It is for specific information, and tips for skimming using read the title, read the sentence, and read the paragraph. It is about the main idea. Using this article. You can take this picture with your article. Okay, pay attention on the screen if you forgot about the tips for scanning. For specific information, you can open your handout. On page 5, Please, all of you, open the handout on page 5. What is the topic about? Is it specific or main idea? Main idea. So it is using scanning or skimming. Skimming, because we have to find about main idea on page 5. And the next, what is the text about? Is it specific or main idea? Main idea, using scanning or skimming? Skimming. And who write? Who read? Siapa yang menulis? Siapa yang membaca? Is it specific information or main idea? Specific information. Who? Siapa? It is using scanning. And the last, what it is written for? Untuk apa artikel ini ditulis? Is it specific information or main idea? Specific information. So, using scanning. Do that for your article that you have clicked on your LPTK. Anyone has done it? Who want to be a volunteer to perform in front of the class? If you find any difficulty, don't be shy, don't be hesitant to ask me. Raise your hand who want to present the work in front of the class. Okay, great. Where is your articles? Where is your articles? Okay, and your article is on this on LKPT. Where is your LKPT? Okay. Can you show your articles to your friends? Show your articles to your friends first. Okay, great. And what's title? Can you read loudly? The title is about okay, great. It is categorized by health. Okay, great. And how about the specific information that you can find on your articles about who write the articles? Yang menulis siapa? Kemal Mustafa. Okay, great. And where it is happened? Di mana? In India. And when it's happened? Huh? Thursday. Great. You can use scanning technique in order to find about the specific information. And the last about the author's main idea using skimming. The paragraph 1 tells us about India's news COVID-19, and paragraph 2 tells us about okay, great. And paragraph 3 tells us about okay, great, thank you. Give applause, please. Next one. Next, who want to be a volunteer? Group 1, please. In front of the class. Can you show your articles to your friends? Show your articles. Okay, great. The title is loudly please, the title. Judulnya okay, how about you? Okay, great. It is about health, politics, sports. All of you is about sports. Okay, great. Now, using scanning technique in finding specific information. What can you find from your article? Who write the articles? Siapa yang menulis the? Okay, great. And next, when it happened? Kapan? Sunday. And about you? Okay, great. And where it is happened? In Europe. And how about you? California. Okay, great. And the last, for my idea using skimming technique. Paragraph 1 tells us about what is? Just read it. Tell us about paragraf pertama memberitahukan tentang okay, great. And paragraph 2 okay, great. How about you? Paragraph 1 tell us about and how about paragraph 2? Okay, great. So you can use scanning and skimming technique in order to find about specific information and my idea. Okay, thank you so much. Give applause, please. Any question so far about the materials? We have learned about how to identify, how to explain, how to compare about the purpose, the organization, and the language elements of news item. What is news item? The text that related to news. Berita. It can be written and spoken, secara lisan dan tertulis. And how about the purpose of news item? To inform about events of the day. The events must be important, interesting, or surprising. And then how about the organization of the text? News items text has main events or newsworthy events in the first paragraph. Only one, just one, main events or newsworthy events in the first paragraph. And the next, about the second, the third, the fourth paragraph. Not but elaboration. Elaboration means explanation, menjelaskan, or it can be called with background event. And the last, about the sources of the news. Narasumber. And for optional, it can be sources. And about the language elements of news item text. The first is using simple past tense because the event is happened in the past time. So it using tenses simple past tense. Verb to or auxiliary be to. And how about simple present? Is it used or not? Used. Because it is usually facts atau fakta. So it must use simple present tense. How about saying verb? Is it used or not? Used. Saying verb can be reported, can be said, etc. And how about adverb? Adverb of time, adverb of place, to show about when the event happened. It is adverb of time. And where the event happened, it is adverb of place. And the last may be using action verb or maybe passive voice. And for the next, about to find out specific information and main idea, usually we can use scanning and skimming technique. What is the difference between scanning and skimming technique? Scanning It is used in finding specific information. And skimming technique is used in finding the author's main idea. In scanning, using clue words or keywords, kata kunci. But in skimming, we can read the title first, read the sentence of every paragraph, and then read the first and the last paragraph to know about the main idea. Anyone still have difficulty in the materials? No? Is my instruction clear? Okay, is the screen clear? The PPT, the material on the screen clear? If there is no questions for your homework, please open your handout on page 9. On page 9, yes, formative assessment task. Have you found it? About COVID vaccine be taken as a pill. The first, you must read it and then find about the purpose of the text, about the organization of the text, and also don't forget about the language elements of the text. And then please try using scanning and skimming in finding about specific information and author's main idea. Don't forget to make reflection about our today's meeting. You can write down on page 11 the reflection about the material we have discussed. If there is no question, I think enough for our meeting today. Thank you so much for your attention, and I'm so very happy we can meet on our today's meeting in good condition, and see you next week. Don't forget to do your homework. Formative assignment on handout. You can collect your LKPG after this meeting in front of this desk. Okay, thank you. I think enough. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.